Okay, hi guys, Mr. Michael here again. The third video in the series of today's videos is to transpose a formula, or transposing formulas, which essentially means rearranging formulas. Now, in these two examples, I want to transpose them or rearrange them to make B the subject. Now, we've spoken about this before. If it's the subject, it means it's isolated on the left-hand side. So we want an equation in terms of B equals what? If C equals A times X plus B, how can we rewrite that equation so that B is the subject? All right, we'll get to that step by step. Let's start off with C equals A in brackets X plus B and work backwards step by step. Now there's no values here, so we're actually not going to be, I guess, condensing anything down to one value. We're just going to be moving those variables from the right hand side to the left hand side until we can isolate B. So let's look at how do we isolate B on the right hand side? There's an A over here and there's an X over here. Which one's furthest removed from the B? We've got to get rid of that first. It's the A that's furthest removed, so we're going to get rid of the A first. And the operation happening between A and the bracket is multiply. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by A on the right hand side, and if I do that I need to divide by A on the left hand side. So I'm now left with C divided by A. In fact, let's do that a little bit higher so I don't run out of room so early. C divided by A is equal to, A divided by A is gone. I'm just left with X plus B. Okay, the brackets are now gone. Because A divided by A is 1. If 1 was at the front of the brackets, 1 times X is X, 1 times B is B. I can get rid of those brackets if 1 is the term in front of the bracket. So, I'm now at a point where C divided by A is equal to X plus B. I've got to get rid of the B, got to get rid of the X. My apologies, I'm going to isolate for B this time. So, to get rid of the X, that's a positive X. There's no sign in front of it, it's assuming it's positive. So, we've got to take X. If I take X from the right hand side, I need to take X from the left hand side, which means I get an expression on the left hand side of an equation that looks like this: C over A, or C divided by A, take X is equal to B. And that's it, we've done it. We've rearranged, or we've transposed that formula so that B is the subject. If you want, rewrite it so that B is on the left hand side, so B is equal to C over A take X. Okay, not an easy skill, but an important one, especially for those that are looking to do maths at a higher level in year 10, 11, 12. All right, the second example we've got here is again a little bit trickier. The equation is C equals root of A squared plus B squared, and it's got here A is greater than 0, and we'll look at what that means in a minute. Don't worry about that just yet. We just know that it has to be a positive number, essentially. It's not a negative number. That's what that means. And again, we're going to transpose or rearrange this formula so that B is the subject. Okay? So, what do we get rid of first? This is a tricky one. Let's get rid of the square root sign. Okay? So, the opposite of... so to get rid of the square root sign, what I need to do is I need to square it. So the opposite of square rooting something is to square it. So if I square the right hand side of the equation, I need to square the left hand side of the equation. Okay? So C is then squared, and that's equal to, I've then got rid of that, A squared plus B squared. So A squared plus B squared on the right hand side is equal to C squared. You might recognise that from Pythagoras if you've done that before. Anyway, moving on. We need to get rid of the A squared value here, and because it's a positive A squared value, we're going to subtract A squared from the right hand side. And if I subtract it from the right hand side, I need to subtract it, you guessed it, from the left hand side too. And I'm then left with C squared take A squared is equal to B squared. Okay. I'm actually going to go a step further and try and get rid of that squared value, and that's where this comes in. To get rid of that square from B, I've got to find the square root on the right hand side. Okay, if I do that to the right hand side, I need to do that to the left hand side as well. In fact, let's do that in red so you can see that's what we're doing to eliminate the square. And the square of a number can actually be a negative number. So, for example, if you look at, and this is talking about b needs to be greater than 0 in this instance. If you're talking about the number 4, the square root of 4 can be positive or negative 2. Because 2 squared, positive 2 squared is 4, but so is negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is also 4. In this case, it can only be a positive number. So instead of saying positive or negative, we're just going to say it's positive, and we don't need to write any sign in front because we assume if it's no sign in front, it's a positive. So, I know that's a lot of explanation. Basically, I'm left with now the square root of c squared, take a squared is equal to b. Or if I was to write b as a subject on the left-hand side, b is equal to c squared, take a squared. Okay, guys, that's rearranging the form. Like I said, it's tricky, but a valuable skill. Hopefully it makes sense. And again, that example will relate, if you're in my class, to the questions I've put up on DayMap. So have a go. Again, if you're not sure, please get in contact.